Hello. My name is Shay Christopher, and this is.
Hi, I'm Sam Corey.
So we're part of INTC 2610. This project is to discuss 3 types of educational communicational tools, such as Google Hangout, Skype, Twitter, and we have to give 2 examples of how each are used in the classroom. I'm going to start off Okay. I'm going to start off with Skype. Okay. I have Skype, and I also have one Google Hangout example. Okay, Skype in the classroom. Skype was founded in 2003. In 2011, Microsoft bought them out. Skype has video calls, voice calls, group video calls, instant messaging, screen sharing, and file sharing. But as most interesting is Skype is a free and easy way for teachers to open up their classrooms with Skype in the classroom. Skype in the classroom allows teachers to collaborate on projects and with other educators around the world. It has over 1,700 projects already online. With Skype in the classroom, the teacher and the students are able to play mystery Skype, talk with a guest speaker, and take a virtual field trip. All you have to do is really create a profile to set up your interests, your specialties, and your location. Then you can set up your own projects and appeal for different classes or even projects you want to do. You can partner up with teachers, or you can have guest speakers. You can pick guest speakers, or you can also become one if you are interested in it. A fun fact, though, about Skype is that Skype can translate up to 6 different languages in voice calls, video calls, and instant messaging. My first example of Skype in the classroom. Teachers Rick and Dave from Bishop Lynch High School in Dallas, Texas. They're part of a mock trial team. They're the coaches. They were in New York City, and when the Superstorm Sandy hit, that following Monday, they were going to stay in New York City and actually do one of their classes at the 9/11 Memorial Center, and also at the New York Stock Exchange, so that their other students that were in Texas could see like the different things in New York City. But because of the weather and stuff, they had to improvise. So they decided that during the storm, I think it was Rick, went out and took his iPad with him so they could see the actual storm hitting, New York City, while the other teacher was upstairs in the room talking on Skype also with their students. They talked about how, the storm was affecting New York City. Also wanted to, and this is a quote, give them a taste of history in the making. So one of the teachers, so they were talking about it in the discussion. They took the time to talk about how the storm could affect the presidential election and, what different things how it could affect the election. But because they had to improvise, they could use Skype to do that. So that's kind of cool. They could do that. Also, they never use Skype as an educational tool, interactive educational tool. So they were actually, impressed of how it went over. So now that they actually use this tool a lot in the classroom to do different things like this, so that students can see different things, from different parts of the world. Another example that I have in the classroom is with an elementary school teacher, Chrissy V, in Missouri. at first she did this. She used Skype in the classroom just to try it out. I guess when it like first started. Their first time Skyping, it was kind of awkward. She said, it wasn't very easy. She was a little, confused with it. But like afterwards, after they were done and it was all said and done, the kids talked it over and they were kind of impressed of how like they could talk to like other kids in like a different state. They were kind of amazed that they did that. So she wanted to use it more in the classroom. When she became more virtually friendly, it became a lot easier for her. So she also became a part of the project called the Known Globe. This is so by being a part of this project, they talk with students all over the continent. They learn about like different time zones, cultural differences. They learn about global weather patterns and the state, like the different states of education, like worldwide. So like how maybe different teachers teach, what they're getting taught, the different classrooms, they get to explore these different things. She also says that, if they're somewheres or they're learning about something and they say they're learning about astronauts and they want to ask an astronaut a question, the class tells her to tweet it. So she goes on Twitter and she like tries to find maybe an astronaut or maybe someone that like knows about it. And she gets in contact with them through Twitter and then they actually Skype about it. So she gets, uses all these technologies. And I bring up Twitter so that this would be introductory for Sam to talk about her Twitter stuff.
All right. So Twitter was founded in 2006 in San Francisco. And it's used by basically anyone who has access to it. If you have a Twitter account, you are able to follow different people, and you can write basically anything you want, but you can only use 140 characters. You can post pictures, you can post links to videos, and you can share all these different things with all your friends and your family, and also a lot of celebrities have them. All famous people have them for the most part. And it's a really easy way to interact with them and see what they're doing. So, the two examples of Twitter. All right. All right, so there are a lot of benefits to using Twitter in the classroom, but just a few of them are that Twitter is really great for communication and having students learn communication skills because they can interact with different people. It's great for students to check their homework. If the teacher were to post their homework for their classes on their page, then all of their students would be able to see what they had to do. It's good for getting students involved in different class discussions, and it's a great place for students to keep up and stay involved with all the things that are happening in the world around them, because a lot of politicians and a lot of news places also have Twitters that they share. Okay. One classroom that uses Twitter is Miss Cassidy. She has a group of 6- and 7-year-olds, and they use Twitter to help the students learn to read and learn to write. I guess it's a fun, different, new way for them to do that. And you can get a lot of information out of 140 characters, so it's a good place for them to learn that kind of thing. And it also allows students to connect and interact with the different students in different classrooms. So that's why Ms. Cassidy's class used it, and her students say that they think it's really fun. So it will be a good thing for younger people. And then the second classroom is a teacher in California uses Twitter in his history classes, and he teaches 8th graders. And it's a way for his students to become engaged with what they're learning, and it allows them to get involved, and it's really good for shy students. I want to quickly show you just a clip from the video. Just one moment, sorry. All right, here it is.
What it did help them with was finding their voice, because I do have many students that do not participate in my class discussions or share what's on their mind. So Twitter became that vehicle.
For shy students, would you say this has had the biggest impact?
Yes, my sci students, they have really impressed me. I mean, I know more about what they're into, how to help them differentiate my instruction, and really be an effective teacher.
The primary goal for this project is to have greater class participation, and Mr. Legaspi feels like he's gotten that. But for some of these students,
Okay, so as you can see, he uses Twitter in his classroom, and all of his students are able to participate in the discussion. He will ask his class a question, and then all of the students will post it online, their answers, and then he can go through and help his students know what are the right answers. And it's a great way to get everyone involved. And one of his students said in the video that they felt that before they started using Twitter, the student is very shy and needs to get made fun of because he didn't talk very often. But now his classmates don't make fun of him anymore because he's sharing his ideas in the class. So all of his classmates understand that he has thoughts and that he's a person too. And that's a really great thing. So those are my two about Twitter. And I guess, do you want to talk about your Google Hangout?
Yeah. Okay. So then we're going to go to Google Hangout. Google Hangout is a web-based tool created by Google for communication through the web. This is free video chat services. It lets people have one-on-one conversations, chats, or even group chats up to 10 people at a time. It's become more increasingly popular with educators and social media users. Educators are using it to give students the opportunity to explore the World Wide Web, leaving the classroom. Google Hangout can record or streamline live on YouTube by using the generated link. All that is needed to start a Google Hangout is just a Google Plus account, which, it's kind of cool because you can, whatever you do, you can always archive this stuff, and you can pull it back up and you can reuse it again. So I think that's kind of interesting. But my example is a teacher and a director in technology, Andrew. He's in a regional school in Groton, Massachusetts. In his classroom, he uses Google Hangout, and for him, it provides a new way to connect to the students beyond the four walls of the classroom. As a part of his high school help desk course, he has the students use Google Hangout to connect to audiences at an association of computer technology educators. So they get together at this conference. And the first thing he does, though, is he gets his class together and they develop a presentation. So they use Google Hangout to develop this presentation together. And because of his scheduling, he's never able to make it to these conferences. So he archives, this presentation that he has with the kids. And then once the conference is happening, he actually does a live stream with them. And he presents his presentation to the audience with his class, with him. And then what's cool, after they do everything and they ask questions about the conference, and the kids can get involved in it. Later he can refer to it. So if he's in a lesson, he can refer back to the presentation and everything. He likes Google Hangout better than Skype and FaceTime because he says he can refer to like online videos, documents, or pieces of literature that he finds on the internet, or he uploads on his actual computer. So he like enjoys using it, and he uses it a lot in the classroom. He also uses it like after school. So if the kids have a question or they want to have a conversation, it gives them a chance to do that. And that's my example.
All right, cool. Awesome example. All right. Okay. So this is my example for Google Hangout. All right. So Wentworth Junior High School in Illinois, they had their one of their congresswomen use Google Hangout so that the students could ask her questions and voice their concerns, and she was able to answer them. So Wentworth Junior High School uses Google Hangout so that students can have access to people that they wouldn't normally have access to, like a congresswoman, and it helps students express what they want to have changed in their school, and it helps the Congresswoman Robin Kelly understand what that population of people needs. So it was good for the students to be able to have their Congresswoman answer all of their questions. So that was the example that I found.
That's pretty cool to actually talk to a congresswoman. It has to be like, good teaching opportunities.
Yeah, and it's like when you're younger, you don't always feel like your opinions matter because a lot, like you and I couldn't change anything for the most part. If a student were to be like, I don't like how this is, well, we couldn't change anything because that's the way that the state requires it. But if the students were able to talk to their congresswomen, congresspeople, and other politicians, they could express their feelings, which do matter, and it makes them feel like what they have to say is important.
Yeah, it's a good thing to teach the kids. I think there were awesome examples. I really like your Twitter one with the guy using it in the classroom, and they ask a question and they could respond so that the kids that feel shy, they have a chance to like reach out and feel better about it and become more open with their classmates and their teacher.
Yeah, I like that one too. And for Skype, I really liked that you talked about the elementary school teacher who uses Skype to show her students other classrooms around the world. So it's really important. That's really important for students to learn that kind of stuff and see what other schools and other cultures are like.
Yeah. I think they relate better with them too.
Yeah.
Kids at the same age,
Yeah. The only thing about Skype is that I do feel like it doesn't have as many features as Google Hangout.
Yeah.
So I think Google Hangout is probably the better of the two.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you can use so much for it. Except the only thing is that Google Hangout is kind of difficult when you want to show something. So
yeah. Yeah. When I was playing around with the Skype though, they have the Skype in the classroom, and the mystery, I forget what's like the mystery player or whatever, like they have like games I guess you could play, like it's kind of interesting, but it's also like, a thing you have to like play with and learn about before, It's a lot of technology out there that we have to learn about.
Yeah, I just have one question for you.
Yep.
Did you use any of these in your classroom when you were a teacher?
Yeah, I probably would. In different ways, because I probably use Twitter, also with the kids, because you have to incorporate it, because especially now with these kids, they are very, technology based, tech based. So you have to keep up with them, and you don't want to lose them. And if they're going to be interested in it, you got to use it. So I would probably use Twitter also to look up like, tools and maybe ideas Now, Pinterest is big, so it's kind of like a Twitter tool in a sense. Pinterest is. So, you look that up for ideas and stuff. So I think I would use that, or Google Hangout, because that's kind of cool where you don't have to like go on actual trips, spend that money, but you could still take the kids places.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool that they can do that now. Probably would have been cool when I went to school, but.
Yeah, I would definitely use these tools. Definitely Twitter, because I feel like that one can be really, you can use that for a lot of different things.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that would be good.
And it's kind of easy.
It's really easy to use.
And there's one of the, I think that one's most the easiest to like navigate and stuff.
Yeah, and it's the easiest thing to access, because like these other ones, you have to like sign in and do all the stuff and prepare everything. But with Twitter, you can it's on the app's on your phone. You just click it and you say what you have to say. So it makes it easy. And it has the hashtag, which can connect it with you can connect to other people who are saying similar things. So, that's probably the better one, I think.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Right.
All right. So this was our group hangout, which, it was fun.
It was fun. It was a good experience.
Here is our Works Cited. This one is my Works Cited, where I got all my information, my pictures and such. And then here's Sam's Works Cited. And that's it.
All right.
And thank you. I had fun.
Thanks.
See you soon.
All right. Bye.
Bye.